What's going on? Drop here, man. Listen, 3 a.m. We up. Checking these charts, looking good. Some things are starting to move. So let's go over these charts and see what's moving what. So the funny thing is, a lot of people haven't noticed, but the market was going up, Bitcoin and crypto was going down. Now the war has changed that, right? So some people were, afraid that the Bitcoin might drop when the war come in, and then what's happening is actually everything else is dropping, and Bitcoin has been going the opposite way, as you guys can see here on the S&P 500, right? So this is the futures, obviously, ES. And as you guys can see, we're about to drop off from that range area that we had been building. As you guys can see, the purple box, right, the rectangle. You see this yellow candle right here, which was Monday, 27 October, okay? That was the last one that created this range. Okay, so based on the yellow candle, everything else flow from there. We did break out of here, right in the middle here for very briefly, and then right back into the box. Broke under that blue line, which is a monthly line. So whenever we break those, when we breach them towards up or down, they tend to be a strong breach. So as you guys can see, we got actually a breakout structure here, those yellow candles. And then we have a red one, which is this week. Now let's go down to the hourly, right, so we can see what's going on with the market now. Same situation, right? In the hourly, you see we have the purple rectangle. It's the range that we have been in. Got out on the bottom a little bit, just like we did on the top, and now we're back fluctuating around it. So we need to get back above this blue line and then come retest the top of the purple box so that we can be back into the bullish scenario, right? So if you go backwards here, you can see that the rectangle, we have been inside of it for quite a while now, since October, I believe. All right, we do a little bit outside breakout, but right back in here, as you guys can see too. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. So if I was trading this, right, I would be paying attention on how much do we move. Oops. Okay, I lost that. Okay, this is the gold. And we're seeing something similar with the gold that we see on the S&P 500, which is what? Similar. Look at there. Jeez. Okay. I lost control totally of this. All right. Alright, so similar to S&P 500, this is gold, right? We have the purple rectangle here too. Actually, I'm gonna just take this one off. It's not looking very well because gold went really low there. Okay, so we broke out. On the monthly, still looks very strong. On the monthly, still looks very strong. The gold. What am I looking at here? So the gold on the weekly, same thing is happening, right? 2 weeks since the war started, we have two reds. So last week the war started, and then we got this week started a red week, and gold is taking a dump, and now we're back in the trap box, in the top of the trap box. But if we don't hold the 47.62, then we'll go retest the bottom of the trap box, which this indecisive candle here did it as well, right? And then it's kept going up, but this is different because two consecutive candles towards the downside. So definitely a bearish formation going on here. Let's go down to the 4 hours, and we see similar pattern, right? We broke above it and then back into this box a few times. See here, broke under it, As you guys can see, that box is pretty important. So as we know, we're back inside of it right now. So I want to see what happens here, and it needs to break above, break out of this, and continue to go up to come and take out these highs here. So let's see what happens to gold moving forward. Silver. Let's go on the weekly. Same thing, right? So the things that we're running are now taking a little bit of a breather, right? So you see here, we came, create a new all-time high, then 3 weeks red, 2 weeks green, and then now 2 weeks red. And we're on the bottom of the trap box. So that means we're in a discounted area, and we have a tendency of going lower because we're in a bearish trend, right? So if you see these two here, they're hanging right above that blue. So 71.81 is a monthly formation for silver. Very strong resistance or support. So if we're above it, it's a strong support. Once we crack under it, it becomes a strong resistance to get through. So that's the weekly, right? The weekly forward towards the blue line. Same thing you see here on the weekly, on the daily. Right, we got the all-time high. We got a couple of red candles. Excuse me, some sideways action, and now we're here. Gotta hold that blue line so that we can come back up and retest the breakout on top of the trap box. Otherwise, we're gonna go retest the breakout under the trap box, and then 65.34 is the next area of resistance towards the way down, or support, whatever you look at. One of my favorite mugs. Says, God grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Amazing. I love it. All right, so anyhow, right, we have to hold this area here. So 71.37, around 71.15 to 71, almost 71.60. It's an area of interest, right? And then for the top, 78. So if I was day trading this, above 78, I'll long it, and under 71, I'll short it. That's silver. Go to the big daddy, see what they doing over there. Bitcoin is being pumpy, so doing the opposite of the markets that have been pumping before. So gold have been pumping, silver have been pumping, ES have been pumping, so stocks have been pumping. Now, since the conflict started, those things have been burning off or going sideways, and then the crypto has woken this week, right? Last week we had a green candle. Last week we had a green candle here. This week we started green pushing. I posted it on Sunday that it looked good, that the volume was decent, and so I wanted to get above this white line here, which is right around the 71,500, because that's where this yellow change of structure candle happened, right? So it came from up here from this range, broke down one candle, two candle, this broke structure, now it creates a new structure down here, and that structure is being broken again with these two candles. So last week we closed green, came as high as about 73. We didn't close there, but we did close above 70, which was a good look for us, and that gave us this new candle this week, which has been moving fairly decent. It started at around 68, it went as high as 76, and right now on the weekly it's a little lower, but we're currently at 74,000 on Bitcoin, so that's a good thing. What happens next? Oh, excuse me. Okay, I think I'm getting tired. All right, so what happens next is this, right? This area, see, so on the weekly it looks like 2 weeks green, so you can see that on the daily, right? Because you see that each one of these candles a day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and today's day number 8 that we have been moving all upwards, and that's why that's reflecting on the weekly, right? So whatever happens on the lower time frame over and over and over tend to reflect on the higher time frame. So if I was day trading Bitcoin today, which we are long on Bitcoin right now, um, we went long as soon as it crossed this white line right here, 71,600, right? So I want to see what it does at around this area, 76, right, which is the wick where we went in that wick. We didn't break there, which is a little bit concerning, right? Because look, if you put a line through that wick, look where it lands. So I put a yellow line through that wick right there, right? And look where it lands, right on this candle right here. And get what that candle is. That's a breaker structure again, right? We had a range right here, broke down, yellow candle, 4 red days, broke down, yellow candle again, right? New structure. So now we have this range. Guess what? Green, yellow candle right here, breaker structure. Now we're above that 71,500, 71,600. That's creating a new range. Now we need to break above 76,000 and establish support above that, right? Which will be above this yellow candle right here, so that we can start taking out these candles and go retest these areas here. So I'm not as optimistic thinking we're gonna hit 90, but I do believe that 80 is very doable. So 80 to about 83 is the next area of Bitcoin that I'm watching if we continue this road, right? It's very early. We're still at 74, obviously. We need to break 76 with strength, like I said, which is this yellow line that we just added here. We break that 76 with strength, and we can come retest this next area of 83,000. 80 to 83,000, but 79.5 will be somewhere where I'll take like profit one. So if you are in the long in Bitcoin, you never take profits at zeros, right? You never wait until, oh, let me wait until 80 now. 79.5, 75, 79, 79.5, that area, because, remember, zeros are psychological areas, right? So they're harder to break. And you don't want a rejection to come all the way down here and take all the money that you made. So keep an eye on this area, right? So the area 76,000. What happens when it interacts with the area again? And then after that, 80,000 is the next area that if we break 76 with strength, 80,000 is on the table. All right, so that's Bitcoin. And let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum looks good too. The thing is, once the market moves everything, the top ones tend to move as well, so you see it right away. So Ethereum, right? We had this range right here break, and it's funny because if you look at this range, that's why these yellow candles are so important, right? So this range right here that broke down and gave us this low is the same range that broke upwards and gave us this high. Okay, that's why you have to understand ranges and areas, right? Because some areas are very important. So this yellow candle right here, right, took us from this bottom range, the recent low, and broke us through the area of 2,800, 2,900, which is usually a strong area. Broke us through there and gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, 6 candles back to back, right? Now, we broke down from that blue line, which was a monthly formation, and then rejected all the way here. Now look at that yellow candle that decided where we go next is same area as this candle that made us go up, but this one is a red candle. So on the way down, we did go sideways a little bit, but eventually we got another breakout structure and we went all the way down to now this range right here. So we didn't touch range low, which is in this area. That's a April tariffs low, but we went pretty low because this area right here, June, right? So we're lower than June, and we were lower than October crash, which I think was right around here somewhere. Yeah, right there. So pretty low, but as you guys can see here, around $1,900, 1970, we hit a bottom, right? We wicked lower on this first candle right here, the yellow one, right? On this candle right here, we wicked much lower. We went as low as 1750. But after that week, right, pretty decent recovery, we went back into the purple box, and we have been hanging around that purple box. So very important to watch the purple box. We break the purple box to the top, bullish, long it into this next area of 2,900. If we get rejected up here at 2484, 2500, if we get rejected in the area, then we come back to this box here somewhere in the bottom. So we got to keep an eye. This box very important, and that's on the weekly. So if I'm day trading, go down to the daily, you can see clear that the breakout is happening as well. So broke down from here. You guys can see these two yellow breaker structure right here, right? 1, 2, back to back. That gave us lower lows. Okay, wick down all the way to 1747. Didn't close there. Closed right almost back into the box, and then candle after that back into the box. So this area right here between 2000 and the bottom of the box was like 1960 to 2000, anywhere between 1900 to 2100. It's very decisive for Ethereum, right? Gets rejected here, we go back down 1800. If it breaks above here, we go retest the top of the box, which is around 2500. We break there, then 2800 is on the table. So what happens next? Well, since we broke above this area here of 2250, right, that's bullish because that's the top of this area right here, right? Top of this area that we broke down from. We actually superseded this bottom, so now we're above this area. So now we gotta go tag this one. So 2800 is the next. Before we get there though, we gotta break 2500 here with volume. That's Ethereum. Let's go check out Solana. Alright, Solana. Same thing you see on Ethereum and same thing you see on Bitcoin. Those are the top 5. So they're gonna resemble. Their chart's always gonna resemble once the market moves up or down. The top 5 coins tend to move with the market since they have the large market caps, right? So this right here, same, right? So we created our bottom here somewhere around 82. We wick lower, obviously 68, but we didn't close there, right? So we wick back, we closed back up at $90 for this week. Then 4 weeks red. Okay, then last week we got a green, and then this week we started building from that bottom, which is right here, 83, 85, right? So that's the bottom because 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 candles have tried, the bulls have tried to bring it under that level. I mean the bears, and the bulls are like, nah bro, you're not taking it lower than 83. So we've been building this week from that area, right? From last week we built from there, and this week we actually started from 86 and we went as high as, we touched the actual yellow, which is like $98. So what I'm expecting here is I want to see a break above this area, the 98.69 area, right? Once we break above that area, this area right here, about 106. So from 99 to 106, about $6, $7. That's what the next move I want to see in Solana, so that we continue this run, right? So obviously I want to break above this yellow line right here, which is very strong. As you guys can see, we touched it there. We broke under here. We've been under it for a little while, right? So, and with the range lows right here. So I want to see it break above this area here with strength. Come break out, take out this 106. Once it takes out 106, it will come here to 122, then back to 136 is the hardest because we had so many weeks in that area, right? And then we broke down. So same thing that happened here. In order to get above here, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We're going to need a little bit of volume. No, actually, we're going to need a lot of volume. And then for my day traders that are trying to push Solana to the limits in the daily, same thing I was talking, right? So this yellow line is the next area that we need to break through, $98, right? We break 98, we're gonna go retest this area right here around 119, or the bottom of it around 108, or this top right here around 103. So this little area right here between this white line, which is 98, and this white line, which is 136, and this yellow line 98, is what I expect to see us interacting with this area if we break above it. If we get rejected here, white line first, then another white line, and so on and so forth all the way down. But I'm a little bit excited of this bump. just because there's a little more structure to it. As you guys can see, we went sideways for a while. Usually these sideways tend to break either to the upside or downside, but wherever it breaks through, it breaks with some strength. So that's what I'm looking at now. So let's see. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. No, we stop looking at that, right? Everybody's like, forget Bitcoin dominance. Excuse me. But similar, right? So Bitcoin dominance ranging as well. Nothing new. We want it lower. Obviously, the lower the better, right? We need to come down to this area right here again, or somewhere in the middle. Most likely going up here since Bitcoin's been moving. We actually pushed really hard here. It's almost 63%, but we have been in this consolidation sideways here. So you gotta watch it. Keep an eye on it and see what's going on. But pretty much, that's the market update for you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the levels that I have for the week. If you guys have anything else you want to know, just drop a DM. Let me know what you're looking at, what you're trading, and you already know we got that challenge too. Where we went to this like trading view challenge or paper trading, like a little tournament with Magnificent Seven. So expect a little bit more information on those stocks this week as we trade them the next week or two. But yeah, that's what I got for you today. That's what I got for you today, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know. Protect the bag. Put it to work unless it violates rule number 1. And I'll see you in the charts.